What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the route that we should go as far as like who should carry on and pick up the torch from Sidney Prescott. Now, I know a lot of us we want Scream 5 to be, we want them to at least, we want this new Scream film that Spyglass Media is working on. We want it to feature Gale, Sidney, Dewey, all of the three characters that we all have come. We know the series is, they're familiar with the series. We're all familiar with these three characters. They've been in every sequel, every entry in this franchise. It has featured Sidney, Gale, and Dewey. Scream 5 should also do that. And we know that the Scream series has been centered on Sidney Prescott. I am at a point where I'm starting to think to myself, well, what if we kind of divert away from Sidney a bit? We don't have to. Sidney is not going anywhere. It's still going to be about Sidney at the end of the day. But let's have like a new heroine in the works to mix it up with Sidney so that we can focus on her as well. And I think that person should be Kirby. This, of course, is assuming that Kirby is going to be written in as having survived her attacks from Scream 5, or from Scream 4 rather. Hayden Panettiere, she did an amazing job in this role. She was a perfect blend of Randy Meeks and then that Sidney Prescott. She actually had a little bit of three different characters. She had a little bit of Tatum in her to me. She had a little bit of Randy and a little bit of Sidney. I think that was a very good combo of three characters that fans of the franchise love and adore. And I think to have that all combined into one character, to have this individual lead the film, I think that would work out great in the Scream 5. I feel that Kirby could actually become the new Sidney Prescott in a way. She's not replacing Sidney, but she is going to become our focal character. She's not going to become nobody can, of course, become Sidney or embody Sidney unless you want to retcon everything and make it all about Kirby, and Sidney never existed. Sidney and Gale and Dewey, they're still going to be there, but Kirby is going to be the character that we are going to be following for most of these Ghostface killings. I believe the person that is being described in the description for Scream 5 is in fact Kirby Reed. I think she's the young woman returning to her hometown. I think she's going to be a homicide detective now. If you watched my last video, you heard my thoughts on that with my theory about Judy Hicks being the killer in Scream 5. I feel like it's just time for us to have fresh blood in terms of a lead character, and I feel like that would honestly be another tribute to what the whole idea behind the reasoning for Scream 4 was, to bring in a new wave of audiences and to start something fresh, start a new trilogy, and not do the same old thing, but kind of mix in some of the same with something brand new. And I feel like mixing in Sidney's story and making Kirby a factor in it, and then having us focus on Kirby a little bit more, maybe we can even balance it out, focus on Kirby and Sidney. I just feel like at some point Sidney needs to pass the torch on to a character, and I feel like that character that the torch should be passed to is Kirby Reed. She's just a perfect character to follow. The way she wasn't that prominent as far as like a main role in Scream 4. I feel like she was more of like a sidebar character, honestly. She was there. She wasn't as important because she wasn't focused on that much. In Scream 5, I'd like to see her character become the full focus. I like to see us follow Kirby. I like to see Kirby being right there in multiple scenes. She's our new main lead. She's not replacing Sidney. The killings are still going to have to do with Sidney, but Kirby is going to be tied into it because of a specific thing that is going to go on in the very beginning of Scream 5. In my last video I posted, I said that I believe in Scream 5 the opening kill should be Kirby's mom. Kirby's mom should be the opening kill for Scream 5, which is going to, of course, spark her to return to her hometown of Woodsboro. She's going to investigate these crimes to find out who killed her mother. And then, of course, while she's investigating all of this, she calls in backup from Gale, Dewey, and Sidney, of course. And then the narrative at the end of the day is still going to come around to a motive regarding Sidney, but the motive is also going to have something to do with Kirby now at this point. That's what I would like to see happen in Scream 5, honestly. I'd like to see Kirby become the new lead. I'd like to see... I just like to see this character get some more screen time and just become the face of this franchise in a way for these next two films. If they're planning to do two more sequels, I think the heart and soul of this franchise in its final run here. If we're really going to go out with a fifth and a sixth movie, I feel like we should start off by making Kirby Reed our new lead, focus heavily on her. Everything is going to still be having to do with Sidney, but be creative, make it somehow work and fit Kirby into it. Tie all of these loose ends somehow. Construct something that is very thought-provoking and make it about both Sidney and Kirby. Because I feel like when we have two final girls on screen, not only two final girls, but two final girls who audiences love and they adore, both carrying the Scream franchise towards these next two films, I think that's something that a lot of fans of the franchise will get behind. I feel like there's a lot more people who are very much for Kirby being our new Sidney of sorts. She's not replacing Sidney, but she's taking up that mantle as being our new final girl to lead into these next set of films. But let me know what you guys think about that down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. In the description, I'll have links on my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there to let me know if there's any movies, news, or reviews you would like me to cover in the future. And then also down in the comment section, I'll have a link to the Facebook group. Join that group if you want any updates on Scream 5, any updates regarding Jeepers Creepers 4. I actually did jump out to radio silence to get an update on Scream 5 and its production, so I'm going to be making a separate video regarding that. But with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video. And again, please subscribe and turn on post notifications because we're almost at 1,000 subscribers.